Hi, this is a PAUL REED SMITH NF3, 2011, I think this one is. I bought this a couple of years ago, and I'd say overall it's probably the best guitar I've ever had, probably the best guitar I've ever played. It took quite a bit of setting up when I bought it. I've made other videos about this when I first got it, but once I'd set it up to how I wanted it, it's amazing to play. It's just the easiest guitar to play that I've ever touched. Absolutely brilliant guitar. Live, through an amp, it sounds really good. These narrow field pickups are amazing. I can't speak highly enough about this guitar. It's absolutely brilliant. You don't see that many of them around. A little bit unusual. That doesn't, that's not a good thing or a bad thing in my eyes. I don't really care whether loads of people have got them or not. But yeah, you don't see them for sale very often. Anyway, I've been half on the lookout for another one just because I'm so obsessed with this one, and it'd be nice to have another one, maybe a different colour or something. So I've been looking all over, like online, worldwide, for one of these for sale. There's one in America at the moment. Costs a lot of money, especially with the shipping. It would just be a ridiculous amount of money, sort of 4 times what this cost. Anyway, I found one about 10 miles up the road from where I live, and I'd say this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever bought because it's here. And so now I've got 2 of them. It's slightly different looking. The wood grain's slightly different. I think it's actually probably nicer on this one. This is also a 2011 PRS NF3, so it's the same year, same spec, just the identical guitar really. The difference is this one hasn't been played, or it really looks like it hasn't been played, and is kind of as new almost, whereas this one I've used it for a couple of years and it had been used a bit before that, and there's a few little knocks and things on it. So I'm now sort of thinking, which one am I going to keep? Now this is the first time I'm going to plug them both in. So I've plugged this in to test it, but I haven't actually used it at all. I'm going to plug it in and see if it sounds as good as this one, and it may sound better. If it sounds better, I'll be keeping it and this will be going. I'd be surprised if it does sound better. It will probably sound the same, in which case this one might be up for grabs soon, because I can't really justify having 2, especially if they look the same as well. So anyway, differences, as I said, specs exactly the same. This one's a little bit heavier than the one I've already got, so it's certainly not a heavy guitar, but I'd say this is like an average Strat kind of weight, whereas this is a bit lighter than that. So the weight's not an issue really with either of them, but that's the only difference I can find, other than the slight difference in the grain of the wood. But as I said, this one hasn't really been played. There's no scratches on the back or anything. This one, I don't know if you can see, but there's quite a few, probably mostly made by me. I had no intention of ever getting rid of this guitar, so I'm not worried if it gets a few knocks. Anyway, I'm going to plug them in, see if you can hear a difference, and look out for one of these probably being for sale soon, unless I can afford to keep both, in which case I will. Okay. I don't know what I can conclude there. There's some tiny differences in the sound, possibly. This one's maybe a little bit darker sounding, that's a bit brighter. Don't know. There's not really any difference I can hear, or barely. They both play amazingly well, and I haven't really adjusted this since I got it, well, a tiny bit. The other one I spent a lot of time setting up, but this is kind of feels like it's just straight out of a box, and it's amazing to play. They both are. I mean, this, even though I haven't really tweaked it much, still plays pretty much as well as that, so better than any other guitar I've ever played. They're amazing things. I don't know, I'll probably hang on to the old one just because it's a bit more beaten up, and this one will be worth more money, I suppose. But I don't know, I might try to keep both if I possibly can.